So good morning, Kal Kalosh. We're going to start with Numbet Amud Aleph, 52A1. Now, just on the bottom, we're just going to start very quickly where it says on the bottom of Nun Aleph Amud Bet. It brought down there a story. It said, Levi bered Ravuna Barchia Rabbi Ravuna Kavigaz, they were going on the path. The Kalme Chamra de Levi Lechamra de Rabbi Ravuna. So Levi's donkey went in front of the donkey of Rabbi Ravuna. Now he was upset. Chalash started Rabbi Ravuna because he was saying, what? Is Levi greater than me and his donkey is going ahead of me? What's going on over here? Amar, so Levi said in his heart, in the meantime, I'm going to tell him something. That way he'll calm down. That he realizes that I'm not doing it b'chavana. So he says, Amar he said, Chamor she'asakav ra'im kegon zeh ma'u letzeh b'prumya b'shabbat. A chamor that he's a mardan, he's stubborn, he's rebellious. Like this chamor, he's just going on his own. He doesn't let me stop him. What's the halacha? Can he go out with a prumya on Shabbat? Remember that the prumya was a regular afsad. That means we're not talking about the nose ring. We're talking about the regular thing that goes around the head. Samalei, so Ravuna told Levi, Hachi amar avucha mishmei d'Shmuel. This is what your father, Ravuna Barchia, said in the name of Shmuel. Halacha zek Hananya, and therefore anything which is extra protection, there's no nafkamina. It's all going to be permitted to go out on Shabbat. Okay, this is where we start today. Tana Dve Menashia. So they taught in the academy of Menashia. They taught like this: Ez shechakak la ben karnea. When you have an ez, that they put it in between its horns. Yotza be'afsad. Right? That means they made a hole in between its horns. Here you have the picture. This is the first one. Right? So if you see, they made in between the horns, they made the holes. And then they put it around its head, but in between the horns. Okay? So that's the first case. Ez shechakakla ben karnea. Yotza be'afsa b'Shabbat. You're allowed to do it. You're allowed to go out with it on Shabbat. Okay? But if stam you're going to put on the ez, like other animals, you cannot. Why? Because many times it moves its head from one place to another, and since its head is very, very narrow, it gets out of it. And then we're going to suspect that you're going to carry a dalad amot and shud rabim, you're going to be over the isur. So a regular goat, you're not allowed to. But if you put between its horns, right, you put the hole, and then it goes between the horns, now it can't get out. So then it's going to be permitted. So by Rav Yosef, Rav Yosef now comes and he asks the following question. Tachavla bizkana mau. What happens if you did it in between the hairs, right, of its zakan? So that's this case. Here are the hairs of the zakan, and you put it over here in between the hairs of the zakan. Right? Are you allowed to or not? Yeah, mau. Kevan di menatach la kaivla. If it's going to try to move its head, it's going to hurt. It's going to start plucking out all the hairs. It's going to hurt, so it's not going to start moving its head. So do you say that in such a way, right? So if it's not going to get out of it, or do we say sometimes what happens is that it'll fall out, but you're still going to carry it for a mot and Teku. So we don't have an answer on that one. So on the beard, there's no answer. On the horns, there was an answer that you're allowed to do it on Shabbat. Tanan Hatam, we learned also over there in Shabbat. You're right in the Mishnah. This is actually going to be a Mishnah in Nundalad Amubet. It says, Velo b'rtsua sheben karnea. You're not supposed to go out with a rtsua between karnea. So this is here. Right? This rtsua, which is between the horns, you're not supposed to go out. Okay? So it says, Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba, Pligi bar Rav Shmuel. There's a machlok between Rav and Shmuel. Chalema, one of them says, Ben lenoi, ben leshamer. It doesn't matter whether it was for beauty or mamash leshamer etze, right? To wash the animal. Asud, you're not allowed to go out to. Why? Because even though it's made for noi, it's still considered a masui for the para. Okay, v'chalema, one of them said, lenoi is asur. The shamer is going to be mutar. So this is lenoi, and this is leshamer. Lenoi, it's supposed to look nice, kilu, zama, and this one is l'shamer, just to protect it, right? To watch over it. So says the Gemara, right? Amar Rav Yosef, says Rav Yosef, Tistayim, we could say that it's logical that Shmuel was the one that said that Lenoi is Asur, and L'shamer is Mutar. The Amar Ravuna Barchi Amar Shmuel, Halacha Kechananya, but he says the name of Shmuel, Halacha is like Chananya, which means the extra protection is never considered a Masui. So therefore you're allowed to do that. So therefore he said, if it's L'shamer Mutar, but Lenoi is going to be Asur. So Amar Le Abaye comes and he says to Rav Yosef, Adra, but the opposite. Tistayim the Shmuel Udamar, Ben Lenoi Ben L'shamer Asur. For sure, Shmuel is the one that holds Ben Lenoi Ben L'shamer is going to be Asur. He says why? He says the Amar of Yudah Shmuel says of Yudah Shmuel Machlifin Nifne Rebbe, right? Shel Zu Bezu Mao, which means that the Talmidim asked Rebbe, what's the deen if they said the exact opposite of what was written in the Mishnah? Which means you put the Gamal with the Khatam and the Nakah be'afsad. You remember that the Gamal was the camel. You put it with a nose ring. And the female camel, right, which that needs the nose ring, you put the afsar instead of it. What's halacha? Amar lefanav Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Yossi. So Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Yossi said in front of Rabbi, Kach amar Abba, this is what his father said, Rabbi Yossi. Arba be'emot yotzo be'afsar, hasusu pereva gamal v'chamor. 4 animals go out with an afsar. There's the horse, the mule, the camel, and the donkey. Lav lemiute gamal b'chatam. Are we not coming to exclude the Gamal b'Chatam? We already learned this, if you remember. We're not coming to exclude the Gamal, that he could come out with a Chatam. So says the Gemara, Samiha mikameha. It says, no, take it away. Which means, since there's a stira in the Girsa of Rav Huna bar Chiya in Shitat Shmuel, that he was posek like Chananya, and Rav Yehuda b'dat Shmuel, that he says that our Gamal cannot go out with a Chatam. So then we're going to push off the Girsa of Rav Yehuda because of Rav Huna bar Chiya, and we're going to say that the halacha is a chananya, that extra protection is going to be permitted. So the Gemara is going to ask a very simple question. Why did you push off this one because of the other one? Say the opposite. Maybe we're going to push off the other one because of this one. Why are you going to push off the one and say that the gamal with the gamal with the khatam is going to be asur? Push off the other one. That really be'emet, when he said that the halacha is a chananya, he doesn't say that. Be'emet, it's asur. Extra protection is going to be asur. So the answer is the Gemara, the Ashkechan Shmuel hu de'amar lenoi asur, l'shamer mutar. We did find one place where he did say that lenoi is asur and l'shamer is mutar. The Itmar Bezu says, so mefurash. So that's why we prefer to keep that one and push off the other one. The Itmar Bezu stated, Rabchia Barashi Amar Rav, says Rabchia Barashi name of Rav, ben lenoi ben l'shamer asur. Doesn't matter whether it's lenoi or whether it's l'shamer, it's going to be asur. Rabchia Baravi Amar Shmuel lenoi asur, l'shamer mutar. So here it's written mefurash. Rabchia Baravi says the name of Shmuel, lenoi is asur, l'shamer is mutar. So because we saw mefurash that he held by the para, that there's a difference between lenoi and l'shamer, lenoi is asur, l'shamer mutar. So therefore we prefer to keep the one that says Rav Yudah Shmuel that Rav Huna bar Chiya, sorry, the name of Shmuel, that the Chazak Hananya, that extra protection is mutar, and we wanted to push off Rav Yudah Shmuel that basically that he said that the Gamal v'Chatam is going to be prohibited. Okay, until here we're clear?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Meitve. So we're going to now ask the following question, right, from a Braita. Paraduma. Keshara be'alea b'mosera. So keshara. It says here, if right now you took a paraduma and the owners tied it with this afsar, with this, I don't know how you want to call it actually in English. I don't remember how we learned the other one.
Leash.
Leash. Okay, with a leash. So it says it's still kosher to be a paraduma, and it does not become pasul because keilu you did a melacha with it. Now says the Gemara, if you're going to tell me that it's a masoi, that it's a burden, Torah says you're not allowed to carry anything on it. So therefore, if you're going to say it's a burden, it's a problem. So therefore, it has to be that Shmidah Yeterah is considered something which the animal needs, meaning an extra protection is still something which the animal needs, and it's not like Rav. So Abaye says, no. The Braita is talking about b'molicha mein leid. You're taking it from one place in the city to another place in the city, right? From one city to another city. So since you're taking it from one city to another city, so therefore, right, it's always going to try to go back to its original place. So when you're taking it away, you have to grab onto it in order that it doesn't go back to its city, okay? And then it's considered the normal Shemitah. It's not considered Shemitah Yeterah. It's not considered extra Shemitah, right? Another answer, Rav Amar, Shane para tedamya yekarim. Para duma, since it's so expensive, you have to do an extra Shemitah on it. So therefore, it's not that the Shemitah is considered a masui or something extra. The para duma is a fortune. You know what it is to find a red heifer, which is exactly everything the exact same way what you need to be. So therefore, because of that, they were extra cautious, and therefore needed the extra protection. Ravina gives a third answer, b'moredet. We're talking about a paraduma, which is moredet, which means since it's a mardanit, it's very like rebellious, very stubborn. So therefore, you need afsad to make sure that it's to watch over it, and it's not considered shmira yitera. But some animals, right, you need to train them better. Yeah. So the truth is, not only by animals. I know human beings, which are the same. You need to keep some of them more on a leash than others. Right? Fine. We're on the two dots. Okay. Hasus. So we said in the Mishnah, the sus is allowed to go out with the sheet, with the collar, with the collar around them, which is like also like a leash. Okay? My yotzin or my nimshachim. What does it mean when the Mishnah says yotzin? And what does the Mishnah mean when it says nimshachim? Let's go back to the Mishnah. Mishnah. Yeah? It says, "V'chol ba'alei hashid yotzeim b'shir, v'nimshachim b'shir." What's the difference between yotzim and nimshachim? Okay, that's what the Gemara is asking now. So Amar Ravuna says, "O yotzim kruchim, o nimshachim." These animals are permitted to go out, whether they're karuch, it's going around its neck. Right? So therefore it's mishamshim like only for noi, okay, and not to pull it, or nimshachim, you're able to actually take it. So it doesn't give us a good picture. No, okay. So basically it doesn't matter how it is. And Shmuel says, yotzim nimshachim, you could go out with the animal if it's going to be nimshach, that means you're using it for protection, but not if you're going out kruchin, which means not if you're only doing it for noi. So Shmuel holds sheyitzia b'shir for shmira is normal, but it's a masui if it's only going to be done for noi. Okay? B'matznita tana, we learned in our braita, yotzim kruchin limashech. You're allowed to go out limashech. Here you do have a picture. Is kruchin limashech. Okay? The two different things. So here you have the aleph and the bet. The aleph says, Rashi explains, שיכול להכניס ידו בין הכרך לצוואר. You could put your hand in between the krach and the tzavar. And the next one is yaniach me'ad min hachevel. You could put a little bit of the rope. Okay? So Amar of Yosef says of Yosef, Chazina lehu igla divrei Ravuna. We saw these egels, these calves of the house of Ravuna. They used to go out with these afrasin around their necks on Shabbat. So Kiata Rav Dimi, when Rav Dimi came from Eretz to Bavel, Amar Rav Chanina said, Chanina, mulaot shel bet Rebbe yotzov afrasin Shabbat. The mulaot of the house of Rebbe would go out. Right? The mul is actually in English, the mule, right? Or all the other languages, right? The predot, the pered, right? The offspring, right? The breed, the crossbreed between the horse and the donkey. So these mules of the house of Rebbe would go out on Afsadim Shabbat. So the students asked, right? Kruchin or nimshachin? Are we talking about, again, they could go out when it's kruchin, and it's there for shmirah, or even for noi, or even if it's not going to be for shmirah, it's just going to be for noi, for the beauty. So Tashema, we're going to try to bring a proof. Kiyatar v'Shmuel ben Yehuda, when Shmuel ben Yehuda came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, okay? Amar Reb Chanina said the name of Reb Chanina, Mulaot shebet Rebbe yotzov v'frusin kruchim b'Shabbat. So there now it says mefurash, right? It says b'afsarehen, it added the word kruchim. Exact same braita, right? Mulaot shebet Rebbe yotzov b'afsarim b'Shabbat. Now it's b'afsarot kruchim. It added in the words kruchim. So it has to be dafka for shmirah and not for noi. Okay? So Amrua Rabbanan kamed Ravasi. So the rabbi said it in front of Ravasi. Hadar of Shmuel bar Yehuda lo tzricha. But we don't need this right of Rav Yehuda bar Shmuel. Why? Did Rav Dimi nafka? Because we already learned it from Rav Dimi. As it says, did Rav Dimi nimshachin gamam. As if you're going to tell me that Rav Dimi was talking about nimshachin, which means for the beauty and not for the shmidah. Either Rav Yehuda bar Shmuel nafka, since you already learned this from Yehuda bar Shmuel. The Amar of Yehuda bar Shmuel says, is it permitted? Amar lefanam Shmuel me'aseh kachman Rabbi. This is what my father said. Arba be'emot yotze be'afsar. So we already learned it then, that it's only going to be for shmirah, not for noi. So Ravasi says, no, we still need it. We still need both of these brightot, right? That which Rav Dimi said, and also Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda. Why? The imid Rav Yehuda, as if it was only from Rav Yehuda nafka. Havamina, I would have had a havamina, amar lefanav lo kibla mineh, that he said it in front of him, but he didn't accept it. Meaning he said the halakha. Rabbi Shmuel came and he said in front of Rabbi the halakha in the name of his father, but Rabbi didn't accept it. Kamashmalan Rav Dimi, so Rav Dimi comes and teaches us that Rabbi did accept it because he actually let out the mule, the Avsar Shabbat. Rav Dimi, if it was only of Rav Dimi, havamina nemilin shechin, I would have thought to say that's only going to be if it was for noi. Aval kruchim, but if it was going to be for the shmirah, lo, he didn't permit it. Kamashmalan Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda, that it was going to be permitted for the shmirah. Okay? Until here, we're also clear? Fine. We said in our Mishnah, you're allowed to be mazina lehen. You're allowed to do hazah of the waters of the chatat, of the waters of the paraduma, if it became tamemet, vetovlan, and you could do tevila on it, right? Even if they're going to be in their places, bimkoman, and you don't have to take it off, which means that there's these shidei, these like rings around the animals, right? Or all these things are not considered hefsek, chatzitza. Okay? So lemeimra debar kevin the nekabilu tumunin. Ask the Gemara, what bichal could become tameh? You have to be purify it. But now we learned in the Mishnah, tabat adam tmeah, tabat be'ema vekelim, ushar kol tabaot. Says only a ring of a human being that is made for beauty becomes tameh. But a tabat be'ema is going to be a tabat of an animal or of kelim, of a utensil. Here it says it here. Tabat of a be'ema and tabat of a kelim. They put here like a ring around it. So these two tabaot, it says over here, ushakol tabaot, or whatever a tabaot, whether it's for the doors or whatever it is, tehorot is going to be pure, which means it's not going to be mekabel tumah. So since it's not mekabel tumah, right? So therefore, then why do you have to start sprinkling the waters of the paraduman? It doesn't make sense. So Amar Rav Yitzchak, bebain manoi adam lenoi be'ema. No, we're learning Noi Adam from Noi Be'ema, which means at the beginning, even Tachshite Adam, the adornments of human beings, right? That's what it says. Mitchilat Tachshite Adam v'shuv yichdam lebeo, and then you put it to the animal. Since they were Tachshite Adam, they're fitting for Mekabel Tumah. So they stay with the same Tumah, even though now you put it for an animal. Meaning some people, they used to, at the beginning, they used to buy beautiful jewelry for themselves. When they used to buy better ones, their jewelry they used to put on their animals afterwards. Well, you're going to recycle. What are you going to do? You're going to throw it out. You're just going to leave it in a box in the cupboard. So they used to put on the animals. So therefore, he's saying the fact that at the beginning it was fitting for human being, it still stayed that way. That means that it's going to be mekabel tuma. Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Yosef gives another answer. Since you pull the animal with this ring, so therefore it is actually being used by the human being. Meaning because I'm using that ring to pull the animal. So therefore it's as if that I'm using it. It's for the purpose of the human being. Milo Tanya, and he's going to bring a proof. Didn't we learn in a braita makel shel be'ema? Right? We're talking about a stick of an animal, shel matechet of metal, Mekabel Tuma, it is going to be Mekabel Tuma. Matam, what's the reasoning? Hoil v'adam lo debaim, because he's using it as to direct the animal. Hachanami sotir, and since he's using it to pull the animal, it's considered the usage of the human being, therefore it's going to be Mekabel Tuma. Okay? Then we said, V'tovla mimkoman, you could do the tevilah when they are tamimet, even in the same place. You don't have to take it off. Ask the Gemara, va'ika chatzitza, there's chatzitza. Right? There's a hefsek, there's an interruption between the body and the waters of the mikveh. So Rabbi Yami says, Rabbi Yami, be'sheritechan. Here it says that basically you hit it with a hammer, ad kedei kach, that you made the hole wider, and since the hole was wider, so the water will get through, and therefore it's not considered a chatzitza, because the water still gets through. So it says the Gemara, Leima Rabbi Yami Rabbi Yosef svirle. So why do we just say that Rabbi Yami holds like Rabbi Yosef, right? Which basically says that stam shire be'ema is fitting to be mekabel tuma, right? Why? Dik Rabbi Yitzchak nafcha bezif, he's going to hold like Rabbi Yitzchak nafcha. The Amar that he says, that it came from a human being and then you put it onto an animal. The second that you came and you made it wider, so you made an action. So then there's no tuma anymore. It's Rambam, we learned in the Mishnah. All the utensils, they go out of tuma with machshava. It's already enough. Right? What does that mean? That it's going to become tameh through machshava. The second that I made it into a utensil, now it's mikabel tuma. But it doesn't come out of tuma unless you do shuli maaseh. This is shuli maaseh. I did an action. I hit it with a hammer in order to make it wider, and once the mouth is wider, now it becomes permitted. Yeah? Here you have the pictures. In the first picture, this is where the ring is inside of it. So it's very, very strong. The second one, you hit it with a hammer and you widen the hole. Okay? So says the Gemara, so Savar like Rabbi Yehuda, he holds like Rabbi Yehuda. The Amar Baz, he says, Maaseh letaken, lav maasehu. Says, no, here you're doing an action to fix it, which means the shinui that we're talking about is that you're doing a negative action, not a positive action. Here you're making a negative action, because you're making a more fitting to work, to use. The Tanya was going to write Rabbi Yehuda Omer, lo amar shinu maaseh letaken lekalkel. The only time that we said that it's going to get out of Tumah is only if you did a Shini Maaseh for the negative, the detriment of the animal, not if it's going to be for the positive. The Matznita Tana, however, though, in our Matznita, in our Braita we taught, Mechulalim. We're talking about Shirim which are made Mechulalim, which means that there's going to be a Revach, right? There's going to be a space, right? It says over here, Bimkom dibuk tabeotahem. There's going to be a space already in between them. I mean, it's from the beginning, there was already a space. Okay, so that you had to bang it on the hammer and had to do it. It was already like that. Okay? Next. Shal Talmid Echad miGalil Elyon to Rabbi Eliezer. It was a student from Galil Elyon that asked Rabbi Eliezer, Shamati shechukin ben tabat letabat. I heard that they distinguish between different types of rings, right? But I don't know what's the difference. Amalo, he said, Shema lo shamat linyan Shabbat. That's something to do with Shabbat. Okay? So he says, right, the linyan Tumah, but if it's going to be Tumah, Davida Chadahu, it's the same halachot. Meaning to do with Tum'ah, it's all the same halachot, the different types of rings. To do with Shabbat, there's a difference between a tabat that has a chotem and a tabat that does not have a chotem. Because it says that if it shall yitzir to tabat she'en lechotem and yishach chotat, but if it does have a chotem, it is chayav chatat. The Gemara there is going to explain why. Why is it that if it has like a type of an imprint, or something as you're going to be chayav chatat, and why not? So says the Gemara, Uliyan Tumah Davida Achati. You're going to tell me that to do with Tumah, it's all the same halachot. But now we learned in the Mishnah and Kelim. Tabat Adam Tameh, Tabat Be'ema Kelim Mushar Tchul Tabatot. Tabat of a human being is Tameh. Tabat of an animal or of utensils or any other types, which is like on the door, it's going to be Teorot. So therefore, it's not the same halachot. So he says, no, ki kamale'ihu nami de adam kamale. He was talking about only for the human being. He wasn't talking about the animal or the other ones. He was talking about the human being ones. So says the Gemara, the adam davda achati. Even if you're a human being, it's the same halachot. Tabat she'itkina lachkor ba'motnav. What about a tabat that you're using lachkor ba'motnav? Right, which is like, it says over here, to go around your loins. Okay? So it says, right, ulkasher ba ben ketefav, or to tie your straps on the top. You see, you tie it up here in the back, right, with the, like your clothing or whatever it is with a thing. Sometimes they have clothing like that. But basically, you have like a ring. It's probably more common by women's clothing, but it's like a ring on the back, and then everything is held up on that ring on the back. So it says over here, tehora, it's going to be tehora from being mekabel tumah. Why? Because it's considered tabat kelim and not tabat adam, which means it's not serving the human being, it's serving his clothing. And the only one which we said is going to be of the finger. That's only one that is going to be tameh. Okay? So says the Gemara, you're right. Ki kamalei unami, what are we talking about? The etzba kamalei. He was talking about the one of the etzba, which means, that means even though Rabbi Eliezer told the student to do it tum'ah, there's no difference in types of rings of human being, he's talking about of the finger, the rings that go on a person's finger. So says the Gemara, the etzba davda achati, and of the finger it's the same halachot. Atram we learned to the Mishnah, tabat shel matechet, v'chutma shel almog, tmeah, a ring of metal, or a chutma of almog. Almog, how do they translate almog? Almog, they translate as not almog.
It didn't translate. Almog. It's the wood of almogim, a type of cedar.
Wood from the cedar tree.
From the cedar tree. Okay, fine, perfect. So it says over here, Tmeah, it's going to be Tmeah. He shel almog v'chotma shel matechet teorah. But if it was going to be of almog and the chotam is going to be made of matechet, it's going to be pure. So answers the Gemara, ki kama le'ihu nami kula shel matechet kama le. You're right. When we were talking about the entire thing was made out of matechet. That's what we saw. It wasn't talking about made out of other forms. Meaning, again, every single time we keep on saying that there is a difference between the different types of tabaot, you keep on answering, he wasn't talking about that. Okay? Next, ve'od shal, the Talmid also asked Rabbi Eliezer, shamati shechulkim be'machal machat. I heard that they made a differentiation between one type of a needle and another type of a needle. Okay, but I don't know the difference. Amaleh, shema lo shamata, ela, maybe you didn't hear only inyan Shabbat, to do a Shabbat. Inyan Tumah was to do a Tum'ah, davada achati. It's all the same. It means to do a Shabbat, there's a difference whether it has a hole or it doesn't have a hole. Okay, because basically if it has a hole, so it's used as to sew, right? That's how you sew. You put the how do you call it? The ilo, the what's he say ilo? The thread. You put it inside of the needle hole and then you start sewing. Okay? But to do it if it doesn't, so then it's only for tachshit. Dila tumah, but if it's going to be talking about tumah, it's all the same. So says the Gemara, are you going to tell me to do tumah? It's the same, the needle. But now we learned in the Mishnah, it all depends. Machat shenital chora, if it broke the chor, the hole, okay, or nital uktzah, or the chad, the pointy part was broken, teorah, it becomes taor, but now it's mikulkal. It's like it's broken. So says the Gemara, no, you're right. He was only talking about kikama b'shlema. It was someone when it was full, not that it broke. So shlema david, and even if it's going to be full, meaning it didn't break, david achati, it's the same halacha. But now we learned in the Mishnah, machat shel tachaluda, what happens if it became rusty? If it's going to stop the sewing, it's teorah, because you can't use it anymore. If not, it's going to be tmeah. So Rabbi Yanai comes and he says, Vehu shel shuma nikar. But that's only if it's still going to be the nikar, the rishum, which means you could still see the kilkul from it. So says the Gemara, no. When was Rabbi Eliezer telling this Talmid, Veshifa kamale, when it was still new, that there was no rust on it. Veshifa davda achati, still if it's no rust, it's still the same halachot. But Tanya, we learned in a braita, macha ben nekuva ben nekuva ben Shabbat. A machat, you could always carry a needle on Shabbat. And why? Because you could always take it to take out a kotz, a thorn. So it's still a kli. When do we say the nekev? You needed the nekev, the hole, only for tumah. So says the Gemara, you're right. Abaye came and he translated it according to Rava, begalme. We're talking about machatim golmim, which means they weren't finished. It's still like a golem. It was still like in the mold. They didn't finish it. So therefore, they still didn't make the hole. So therefore, these types of machats, since they're still fitting to make a hole afterwards, as long as they didn't make a hole, they didn't finish it. And if it's not a kli to do with Kabbalat Tumah, these are the words of Rabbi Eliezer. Right? However, the other ones, they already finished, so then it's going to be considered a utensil. It says a Mishnah. Okay? Here, look at all the pictures. Tabat shel almog, and the chotama shel matechet. Right? The chotama is made out of matechet, and this was made out of almog. And that's the ring. Then this is the chor.
How could you make a ring in wood?
What?
How could you make a ring in almog? Almog, they said, is cedar wood. Right?
You're right. If it's mamash out of wood, I don't know how you would do that.
Unless it's a mold or something to stamp or something.
I guess so. Atse almogim muskarim v'zeh melachim. Binyan bet hamikdash. Here it says mefarshim shu nikra belaz coral.
Coral. Oh, okay.
Coral.
So it's not cedar, it's a coral.
Coral. דהיינו הדבר הגדל בקרקעית הים, מדומה לאילן.
It's a coral. Coral tree.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, very good. Then here's the needle. So this is the chor and this is the okitz. This is the hole to put the thread, and this is the okitz, the point. Okay. Beshifa was that it's still new. And begolmi is this. This is the begolmi that you have to cut it to make it, meaning you have to still make it pointy. Okay, and then this is the Mishnah already. Okay, about the chamor yotze b'mardat bizman sheik shura. So the ukaf, usually they translate as a saddle, no? How do you translate? Or the mirdat is a saddle. Let's see the Mishnah. Chamor yotze b'mardat. So the mirdat here translated, it's like a type of a smicha. It's like a type of
saddle cloth.
Okay, so saddle cloth. Bizman sheik shurabo, as long as it's tied to it. Zecharim, the males, which we're talking about the male rams, which are the male kvasim zecharim, yotzim levuvin. They're able to go out levuvin. Okay, I don't know if that's again the Libya or it doesn't really explain much here. Does it explain anything there? Okay, there's a whole bunch of machlokot. What is levuvim here? Rechelot, the females, yotzot shechuzot kibulot uchmunot. They could go out atufo bebegel l'shminat. They could go out with the clothing also to protect their tzemer. Right, to protect its wool. No? Okay. Then it says, Haizim yotzot tzrurot. The izim, the heirs, the goats, they're allowed to go with tzrurot. So something which is attached to their chest area, right? In order to stop the milk from, coming down. So basically, in order for, to stop it coming down. This is all according to Shtat Nekama. This is this. On the top picture. So you put something over here in order to stop the milk from coming down. Okay? Rabbi Yosef Oser Bekulan, Rabbi Yosef argues, and he prohibits all of these things that we just mentioned, except for the rechelin, the females, hakevunot, which they're allowed to go with a special kisui, because it's like a tachshit. Wow, it's this. It's mamash clothing. You ever see an animal with clothing? This is it. Right, to protect its wool. Okay? Rabbi Yehuda says, Izim yotzot tzrurot liyabesh. the izim could go out with these surot, which are again attached to its chest area, in order to be miyabeshet, to stop the milk from flowing. Avalo lechalev, but not in order to protect it that it shouldn't go on the ground, because remember, then it's considered a masui. So if it's going to be for the shmirat of the chalav, it's not done kol kach bechozek. And then we're going to suspect that it's going to fall and you're going to carry it arba amot in the Reshut Rabim. So only if it's mamash for protection, but not just for the milk. Okay, and then it's obviously for the Gemara for tomorrow.